name's Matt Poynton and welcome to this, the first in what I hope is going to be a series of videos on the history of the parish of Draycott-en-le-Moors. And you may know me because I wrote this book, The History of the Parish, about 20 years ago. I grew up in Draycott over there in Stewart Avenue. Now in this, the first video that we're making, we're going to be looking at the origins of the parish. You know, what were the first settlements here like? Where did the name come from? And why is there a village here today? So let's have a look. When looking for the earliest origins of human activity in the parish of Draycott, we look here at this, the Roman road. Now this road, it ran all the way from Chesterton to Rochester. It ran beyond that as well. It crossed the Mere, the lake, over there, what is now Mere, the Blythe at Blythe Bridge, and then it carried on straight through our parish. This is the first example of human activity here in the parish that we've found so far. But that's okay, there's a road. Why build a settlement on the road at this point? Let's find out. The origins of the village of Draycott most probably start here, in this spot where the Roman road crossed the stream. Now, how do we know that? Let's look at the name. The name Draycott. It's got two parts to it, and there are two theories as to where it comes from. The first one says that Dray is a corruption of three. German drei or Dutch tre. Draycott. Cottages, three cottages, you know, that's the place where there are three cottages. It's one possibility. The other is that dray comes from the word drag, and cot is cart, the place where you have to drag the cart. Why would you say that? Well, back then the road didn't have a kink in it like it does today. It was a Roman road, it was straight, so it would have gone up over the post office. But that was later destroyed because there was quarrying where the post office was in medieval times. So it would have been a steep hill. So maybe you needed help dragging a cart up the hill after the stream. We have Draycott. We're on the hill behind the post office now, and this brings us to one of the interesting theories about early Draycott. So I said before that basically, as far as we know, the first signs of civilization in Draycott were the Roman road that ran along there and crossed the stream in front of the post office. Then went over the hill to the top of there. Now that road ran from Chesterton, which is near Newcastle today, to Rochester, which is where the JCB factory is, and exactly in the middle is Draycott, and it's about a day's march from either one, which has led people to say, well, wouldn't there be something here? Maybe some sort of accommodation, some sort of stop where people could get something to eat, particularly as there is a fresh water source. And it has been surmised by the late local historian Frank Underwood that on the top there, and you can just about see the line, that there was a small Roman marching camp. There's an artist's impression of what it could have looked like in my book. Now, was there a Roman marching camp? In favour is the evidence that I've talked about before. It's about 12 miles from Chesterton, 12 miles from Rochester. Against, is there any evidence? To be honest, not much. If you look on the LiDAR data, which archaeologists use, it doesn't really show anything. There could be, but there probably isn't. So what's the likelihood? I would say a 30% chance. Although I think there's a strong likelihood that there was something here. Some sort of inn or accommodation, perhaps a precursor to the Draycott Arms, where people would have stopped whilst travelling between Rochester and Chesterton. So, one of the clues to the early origins within the parish is here, Hotman's Low. This is a Saxon name, and it means Topmain's Low, or Topmain's burial mound. Now, Erdeswick says that there was a burial mound here, but there's no trace of it today. Where it was, who knows, but it suggests that there was some kind of battle where Topmain was killed Now, interesting, it says, look, historic Staffordshire 100. The hundreds were where there was 100 settlements. They would have a law court to decide issues in Saxon times, so we know there's a Saxon origin to the place. But that doesn't mean it was an important place. Hundreds were often named after very insignificant settlements. So this existed, there was something happening here in Saxon times, but we don't know much. The oldest building in the parish of Draycott is the church over there, St Margaret's, which dates from at least 1268. However, we know, because of the Roman road, that there were humans here a lot longer before that. So where did human civilization start in the parish? One of the theories is that this building is not the first on the site. There could have been a wooden church here before, there probably was, and before that it has been suggested that this was the site of a pagan yew grove. There's some very ancient yew trees here, there's one of them, and the idea was that the yews would be in a grove, and in the middle the druids would perform their rituals. Now, we don't know if this is true, but it was common practice to build Christian churches on the site of pagan worship sites. So perhaps here on this hill, overlooking the crossing of the stream and the Roman road, is where the first structures in Draycott were. One of the main tools that local historians use to work out what was going on in an area in the time of the Saxons and the early medieval period is the Doomsday Book. And the Doomsday Book was compiled in the reign of William I, so he would have a complete record of whatever was going on in his kingdom. Now, the Doomsday Book locally says that between Kedler and Fottersbrook, now Kedler could be Checkley or Cheadle, probably Cheadle, Fottersbrook as Fallsbrook, it only lists two places. They're called wastes, which means kind of like abandoned settlements, and one of them is Loughhamsless and the other is Newtone. Now, we haven't got a clue where Loughhamsless is. It's probably disappeared. Some people have suggested it could be Lee's houses, but I think that's quite tenuous. But Newtone or Newton exists, and that is here. We're in the hamlet of Newton now, and it's right in between the railway line and the new A50, and it's a collection of farms today. So here is Newton. But the question is, we knew that Hotman's Low existed at the time, we're pretty certain that Draycott existed. Why were they not in the book? So that's the end of our video on the origins of Draycott as a community. Tune in next time for more history videos by me. Thanks a lot. Bye.